to have you with us in this edition of the Urban Debate. Viewers, for the next 2 hours, I'm going to focus simply on one thing that's on everybody's mind: vaccines. The vaccination policy of our country. We will talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. We'll talk about how a part of the vaccine policy is still extremely opaque, and there is a need to revamp this policy. We'll also tell you the details of vaccine allocation, vaccines in the pipeline, and what the center is hoping to get by the end of this year as far as its vaccine doses are concerned. 216 doses, the center says, between August and December should be here. But nothing takes away from the vaccine shortage we are facing in our country today. Nothing takes away from the series of policy changes that are taking place and the many questions that are around these policy changes even now. Nothing takes away from the fact that on ground there is still chaos, especially now with the second dose eligibles above the age of 45 and those between the age of 18 to 44. Many of the states are now looking to suspend the vaccination, have suspended the vaccination in states like Maharashtra and Karnataka for 18 to 44. It's the vaccine debate that I want you also to be a part of. We've opened up the phone lines here. You have an experience to share, whether it was getting the fastest finger first kind of an appointment, whether it was stories about gaming the system, whether it was your struggle to get your dose, the first dose, the second dose. Call us, share your views. If you believe that this state procurement policy is what is derailing and dealing our entire plan, do share your views. The numbers will be flashing on your screen. 3 specific angles that I'll be looking at tonight: opaqueness in policy and the need to revamp, fallout of the state level procurement policy and how that's working on the ground, a lot of data crunching that we've done for you over there, and fixing the demand supply problem. Obviously, the demand problem overnight cannot be met. We cannot overnight vaccinate a country with such a large population. But we have a policy in place. Even as per that, we are struggling at multiple levels. Let me tell you why I believe that there is some opaqueness in this policy that needs to be fixed. There is no clarity, for example, on what the center's allocation criteria is. The center does give some insights on this in the affidavit that was submitted to the Supreme Court. But when you look at the data, there are way too many inequalities and questions that emerge on why which state has got what. Secondly, the states are unclear of what their future allotment is going to be. They don't know when the next round will come in, today, tomorrow, in the next 3 days, whatever has been promised to them for the next 15 days or the next one, whether it will make it or not. And that makes it even harder for the states to make their own plans, how to go about a targeted vaccination, which means even more confusion on the ground. Point number 3, we don't know how the vaccine makers are actually giving these vaccines to various states. As you know, states and private hospitals are now competing with each other to get some vaccines from Serum Institute and Bharat Biotech. It is unclear on how those are being allocated, and again, there is quite a bit of difference there between various states in our country. It's also unclear why the center, to begin with, gave only limited orders. They've given 3 rounds of orders so far, 3 different phases of orders that have happened. But why were they so limited if the center always thought that their plan was to only vaccinate 30 crore people in our country? Then where was the plan for the rest of India? Should they not have told the states that the rest of India will be your responsibility, so gear up and start working towards it? They could have done this 5 months ago. These are the reasons why there are still many issues with the transparency of this vaccination policy. As we go forward, I will bring you a lot of information and data, show you where the problems lie, and we will have a constructive conversation, hopefully, with the political representatives who are going to be joining me for the next 1.5 hours. After that, we'll also have experts who will join us and tell us why it has now been decided that the gap between 2 doses for Covishield needs to be 12 to 16 weeks. Is that a good thing? Could we have done this earlier? How much will it help in reducing the pressure on the demand right now? Are we really facing that kind of a shortage where we don't even have enough for the second doses for those who are eligible? All of that here tonight on the Urban Debate. Without wasting any more time, let me say good evening to the first set of panelists who are joining us right now. Dr. Ajay Alok of the JDU, Rohan Gupta of the Congress Party, Mahesh Tapase of the NCP, Iqbal Singh Lalpura, National Spokesperson of the BJP, Manu Sundaram of the DMK, and Reena Gupta of the Aam Aadmi Party joining me right now. Let me actually begin with Mahesh Tapase. Mahesh, much is being said about today by the center in terms of the vaccination plan. 216 crore doses, they say, we will have by the end of December. The states are getting their quota. The states are now open. Vaccine makers are open to go ahead and strike deals with Bharat Biotech, get the technology, ramp up the production. Is this helpful in what you are planning for the state of Maharashtra?
Good evening, Tanvi and all viewers, and thank you for inviting me for the debate. Let me tell you, Tanvi, that right from day one, the center has had no clear-cut policy with regards to procurement and logistics of vaccination. They had the data all the while. They had the entire data of the population who's eligible for vaccination, but the planning, I do not know what Niti Aayog was doing as far as planning the procurement and or the manufacture of vaccines was concerned. So today we have got only three vaccines. One is Covishield, one is a Covaxin, and now that I understand that Sputnik has been allowed to be administered in this country. So we do not know how Dr. Reddy's lab is going to sell the vaccines to states or to the center or to private hospitals. So that is another headache. So now in the morning also I was on a debate with the senior BJP spokesperson and asked him, like, we are a population of 135 crores, so that makes us almost 90 crore people eligible for vaccination. So how do you plan to inoculate 180 to 200 crore population? So he didn't have a clear answer, but he gave vague figures that Covaxin will manufacture so much, Covishield will manufacture so much, and Sputnik will give us this much. So they had no clear-cut understanding. Now, if center is going to procure, then what about the states? Every state has a population. Like my state has a population of 12 crore odd citizens. That means 8 to 9 crore people need to be administered the vaccine. Today we have a ramp-up capacity to inoculate almost 75 lakh citizens on a weekly basis. So if you allow us, if you give us the vaccines, and if you have a transparent procurement policy where a seamless transfer of the vaccine from the origin or from the manufacturer, whether it's an imported vaccine or an Indian vaccine, to the end patient is seamlessly happening, then I'm very confident I can assure the citizens of Maharashtra that within the next 2 months we can inoculate the whole state of Maharashtra. Tanvi.
What, next 2 months is going to be highly unlikely, Mahesh. I don't think you should even attempt to give those kind of assurances because we don't know. You don't know. You also get different messages even from the vaccine makers on when they will give you these vaccines exactly. But interesting point that you raised, and we've been trying to find this out as well. We don't know if the Sputnik vaccines will actually be available to everybody who can buy them. What is it to mean when they say they're going to be available in the market from 1 week from here? So that's the big question. Rohan, for your party, when it comes to opaqueness or transparency, what is it that you would like to know more from the government on this vaccination policy? Where are we failing that we've gotten into such a mess?
See, Tanvi, what I feel that the government could not anticipate the second wave. And the way they exported the vaccine to become the Vishwa Guru and all, I think that is the error this government started with. If they had anticipated second wave, because today everybody is saying, all the experts are saying the only solution to this is vaccination. If we had not exported 6 crore vaccines at that juncture, I think we would have been in comfortable situation. Point number one. Point number two, after second wave came, the priority of the government should have been to procure vaccine from whatever source available. Rather than doing that, they transferred the responsibility to states. This is the first central government which allocated 35,000 crore rupees in central budget. They transferred the responsibility to states. Forget that. Even the same vaccine which they bought at 175 rupees, they are forcing states to buy at 600 rupees. This is the total. This has never happened in the history of any country in the world during pandemic. How can you expect state to buy the same vaccine at 3 or 4 times the price? It was very easy for center to procure the vaccines at the same price and to give the states. Yes, if they want to charge money to the states, they could have done. Rajasthan CM has clearly told. But this has never happened because when the pandemic comes, when you have failed to estimate that, okay, second wave is coming, your priority should have been vaccination. The government is making states Atmanirbhar. This cannot be tolerated. Today, all the governments, whether it is BJP or Congress or anybody, I'm not going into any party state government. I'm saying all the states have to go for global tendering. All the states are in financial mess because of GST and all. Still, they have to plan vaccination for their state. You see all the states there, why they are going for global tendering. It means that center is not able to fulfill their promise of Sabko vaccine milega promised by PM, and that's why the states they have to rush everywhere wherever they can for the vaccines. And at the same time, when they are facing this financial burden, they have to give 4 to 5 times money what central government is paid to the vaccine manufacturers. So I think, Tanvi, the basic thing what I feel that government is trying to shy away from the responsibility. The Modi government is trying to hide away or run away from the responsibility. That is why this chaos has been created.
Well, absolutely, there is, I don't understand, and Ajay Alok, this is the first question. I don't understand why, after a year into the pandemic, did we decide to then say, oh, we're not going to be doing the vaccination anymore by ourselves. It's also your responsibility. You figure out your supply chain, you figure out your vaccine doses, you figure out your money and give it to your people. Why is this required? Even now, biggest of the experts are saying procurement of the vaccines must be done centrally.
Well, Tanvi, if you look at the chronology, it was the states itself who said that decentralization of vaccination program should be done, and it was started from Delhi and echoed by all Congress and all opposition governments in tandem. It was, had it not been a case of Chhattisgarh Health Minister and the Chief Minister and the Rajasthan Chief Minister who openly dissuaded Covaxin in initial terms, I quote 18th January and 19th January on television saying that Covaxin is not clinically proven. So we won't advise our people to take it. This was a scene of going on since December, January. 16th January, we started the vaccination program. Today, we are on 13th May, and we have inoculated close to 18 crore people. This is the third fastest paced program in the world. Now, when the government, and today Mr. VK Paul has announced that from next month, we are going to have a constant supply of around 15 to 17 per month. And by the end of December, we are going to have 220 crores. I don't know why create this panic. In the same chronology, if you
because there is no vaccination right now,
pandemic,
Ajay Alok.
you have to maintain your balance.
There is the government decided to open it to people 18 to 44. The government decided they're going to manage it for people above the age of 45. The government is not able to give even those vaccines. Let's keep 18 to 44 aside for a minute because that's a completely different mess. Even for the age of above 45, they're not. Look at the pace of supply being given to states from the center. From vaccinating 33 lakh people per day in the first week of April, we've come down to 20 lakh, 22 lakh. One day we went even lower than that. So that is a problem.
If you look, that is a problem. Definitely that's a problem. And that's also a problem of awareness among the vaccine, because I'm a doctor. And if you see the frontline workers or the doctors or the healthcare workers, if you see the vaccination program in the first phase, you will be surprised that only 50 to 55% of nurses were vaccinated. Many of them never turned up to take vaccine. It's only when the second wave has hit us, and it has hit us hard, and people have started taking, that those who are vaccinated twice, they are getting less affected. This madness of vaccination started. Patients, if we started to blow out of the proportion, where we are going, where we are heading. My SAP friend said.
Okay, we have a bit of a tricky line with you, Dr. Ajay Alok. We're going to try and fix that line because I'm not able to hear all of what you're saying. We're going to try and fix that line and I will come back to you. But let me take this across to Reena Gupta. Reena Gupta, the states asked, the center says the states asked for it to be decentralized. The states created so much panic in the initial days, brought about vaccine hesitancy, posed questions about Bharat Biotech's vaccine, and now that it is picking up pace, they are the ones who are refusing to take responsibility.
Tanvi, the biggest problem with this central government is that they are totally allergic to scientific and expert advice. be it domestic experts, be it international experts, everybody has been criticizing the vaccine policy of our country, right from Dr. Kaushik Basu to Joseph Stiglitz. Everybody has said this is the most bizarre, most inequitable vaccine policy. The Supreme Court itself said that a vaccine policy like this cannot be allowed in the country. That's point number one. Point number two, the government of India all along under compulsory licensing had the option of getting other manufacturers involved. Bharat Biotech and ICMR partnership was there. They could have easily taken the technological know-how and shared it with other companies that had the capability to manufacture. Let alone private companies. There are 7 public sector companies in the country which have been manufacturing vaccines for decades. There is an integrated vaccine facility in Tamil Nadu that actually in 2020, Bharat Biotech wanted to take over to manufacture the vaccine, but the government did not move because they are just not serious about vaccinating the country. They are more interested in buying MLAs, in doing Didi or Didi in West Bengal. Now that all that is over and the pandemic is raging at such a stage, even now they're not serious. In today's conference, again, Dr. V.K. Paul, what I would have liked to see is a transparency in vaccine distribution. Even today, I do not know when and at what point how much vaccine the Delhi government is going to get, based on what formula of allocation. There are reports in the media which say that Gujarat has received the maximum number of vaccine if you look at per capita allocation. So there is, every expert has said there has to be a transparent dashboard so that the states know at what stage which vaccine we are going to get. Now, coming to international procurement, again,
But the center, and I'll come to that, Reena, in just a bit. I will come to the international procurement in just a bit. But the center claims that we are telling the states, we are telling them what they will get in the next 15 days, we are telling them what they will get in the next 1 month so that they can plan better. They're also saying that everything data is available and it is updated every day on the website on how much has been given and how much is in the pipeline.
So Tanvi, we wrote a letter and on 26th of April to the 2 private manufacturers, and we placed an order of 67 lakhs to each of them. Okay, so if the central government is trying to decentralize and they are telling us you procure directly from these private suppliers, then on 29th of April, why did the health ministry write a letter to Delhi government saying that, sorry, you cannot get 67 lakhs as you wanted from the private manufacturers, you will only get 3.5 lakhs, right? So at one end, you are saying that they want to decentralize. Then on the other hand, you are controlling our procurement from the private manufacturers. And secondly, if you want to decentralize, then why have you kept access to the whole CoWIN app and how appointments are being taken in your purview? Decentralize that as well, right? Let each state decide who's our priority sector, and accordingly we can allocate to the various sectors. If I know that I'm not going to be able to get more vaccines,
Well,
I might want to...
Reena, watch what you ask for. Watch what you ask for, Reena Gupta. Tomorrow there will be an announcement without any discussion with the states that you asked for it. So now go ahead and figure out your own portals, and then all states will be scrambling to create their own website or portal or on-ground distribution and tracking mechanism. And I want to take this point across to Iqbal Singh Lalpura. Not only, Mr. Lalpura, is the allegation that your policy has been extremely opaque. Many of the decisions don't even make sense right now, but there's been very little conversation with the states about it, very little conversation with the parties which are governing the other states before you take these big decisions.
Mr. Shukla, I think my friends are not aware what is going on in their states only. The central government has a comprehensive policy. We are regularly in touch with the state health secretaries and other ministers, and we are also in touch with the foreign-based people who has this raw material, and from there we can procure not only the vaccination but all other medicines also. So we have a comprehensive policy. Most of my friends are playing from the gallery. It is just for the sake of opposition. And once they were criticizing that this injection is not required, now then the other day they were saying why government is giving us whatever we are purchasing, we are also giving it destroyed it. Those who could not inject the vaccination to the people who are uh, who are supposed to have it. So, government of India has a definite policy. We are regularly monitoring it. The foreign ministry is involved into it. They have not even floated tender, and then they are criticizing that they are going abroad. Why we have been asked to go abroad? So you were saying.
How do you
that
expect them to? You took 6 months, Mr. Lalpura. You took 6 months. The center took 6 months to even realize that we can open up to the foreign vaccines, give them an emergency nod. You took 6 months. 1 minute, please. 1 minute. Let me finish. 1 minute. Let me finish, please. Let me finish. The decision to open it up to the foreign vaccines was taken on 13th of April 2021. 13 months after the pandemic hit us. At least 6 months after we were very clear of what vaccines we will have, what vaccines were already beginning to get approvals in rest of the world. Not just that, it took you 6 months at least to now say, okay, Covaxin, we will share the technology with whoever wants to. You can go ahead and manufacture it yourself. You still haven't woken up to the integrated vaccination center that was created 9 years ago in the state of Tamil Nadu and is lying unused. And you expect the states to, within 15 days, come up with a plan, come up with a price, come up with a global tender and start getting the vaccines. Isn't that a joke?
We are not making jokes to anybody, I tell you very honestly and frankly. Last year we gave ventilator to them. Now people say they are not working. What were you doing during the last 1 year there? From January onwards, we have tried to vaccinate every person who by priority. Our priority was the warriors, those who were fighting it, and then the old person. Now people above the age of 18, now even younger people would be getting this vaccination. We have a definite policy. We are not to be guided by the people who just want to be criticize us for everything. They want to mix the agriculture laws with the corona vaccines. So we are not. We are here for the public. But those who want to criticize for the sake of criticism, they are welcome to do it. They are doing it. They will keep on doing it. But we are here with a definite policy. We are in touch with the foreign people. Our foreign minister, our health ministry is in touch with the states, and we are doing to help the people all over the country. So this is, I think this is ridiculous that states, the people join together to criticize the central government for just political purposes.
I want to respond to this, Tanvi.
We're going to also open up the phone. I have opened up the phone lines, and I'm going to also ask our viewers, political parties aside, what is it that the viewers think? Is this just criticism for the heck of it? Very quickly, opening comments from Manu Sundaram as well, and then I will come back to you. But yes, Manu first.
Well, I think the people who've spoken before me have been very polite and very considerate of the national government. I would argue that there is no national vaccine policy. At least we do not have a national policy that is fair, just, reasonable, or cogent. You would remember almost a year ago or more than a year ago, the national government or the union government invoked the Disaster Management Act and centralized much of the COVID response. Now today, as many of you have rightly pointed out, it has been left to the states to manage their own vaccination. This shows the kind of absolute flip-flop in policy or absolute mess up in terms of vaccine policy. Now, secondly, there is a serious concern about how the vaccine nation drive has been communicated to the people. We many of us are skeptical for the right reasons. This is because there has been no proper communication with regard to the phase 3 trial results, or even the fact that other vaccines, why they are being approved or why they are being rejected. For example, we do not know what is the holdup with the Sputnik vaccine or what is happening between the Union government and other international vaccines. So it is for this reason that many of the states, including mine, have opted to issue global tenders. Now, it is not out of choice, but it is out of necessity, and we do not have any other choice in the matter. We have asked the Union government, at least now that different states have taken up the responsibility of procuring vaccines, why not reduce and nullify the GST being issued on vaccines? We hope the center will consider that. And finally, one other point that I hope people haven't yet covered is that of COVID. Now, I know much has been said, but I think it is worth pointing out, Tanvi, that only 48% of the Indian population is even connected to the internet has access to the internet. So I do not understand why a government insists or makes it necessary that people have to register on an internet application for something as basic, as essential, as something that the high courts and the Supreme Court have considered to be part of a greater right to life. And we all know how stupendously the Arogya Setu app has failed to even help us get through the second wave of COVID. So therefore, I hope there is a rethink even on the COVID app policy. But I join in many of the other political parties representing state governments across political party lines and ideologies that there needs to be a complete rethink on our vaccine policy. The state governments have to be taken into confidence. And finally, there is a national expert group on vaccine administration. Now, what they have done, the policy decisions that they've taken, I believe are not even in the right to information domain. So that's where we are deeply concerned about. There is a lack of
many
transparency.
of the decisions, unfortunately, have come too late. Yeah, and there is still no transparency in how it is being done. I know a lot of information and data was given to us by Center today to say, oh, XYZ number of vaccines will be with us by end of May and this much by end of June and July, and 216 crore vaccines between August and December will come to us. Well, we don't even know what the states are getting tomorrow. The states are still not getting a clearer answer from their own, from the two manufacturers we have, on when they will get their final consignment of the first order that they have placed. We don't even know when the approvals will come in for the other vaccine brands that have not even applied yet or are under consideration or are still conducting their trials. But for some reason, all of that data, all of that information of all of those vaccine brands have been counted in for this 216 crore to just give you out that number. Mahesh Tapase wanted to make one point. Go ahead, please.
I just wanted to respond to Lalpuraji. He said that opposition parties had some reservation as far as the Covaxin is concerned. But I would also want to remind him that the Prime Minister very candidly said that we have defeated Corona in India and India is almost Corona free. Secondly, I want to tell you, Mr. Lalpuraji, that if any state government like Mumbai City has gone in for Mumbai Municipal Corporation has also gone for a global tender. What is the procedure? We have given a timeline, but there's an institute called Central Drugs Laboratory, which is situated in Kasauli. So every batch of medicine that comes into India, imported batch of vaccination, a certain section of that batch has to get tested from the Central Drug Laboratory. And this is the reason why it took so much time. Although Sputnik was available much earlier in this country, it took almost 20-25 days. So I do not know when tomorrow Tamil Nadu has its own batch, Maharashtra has its own, probably Delhi government has its own imported vaccine. How are you going to certify this imported vaccine, and within what time frame are you going to certify? I would also want to comment on what Reena ji said. She was absolutely right.
Yes.
When Delhi government responds to a private vaccine manufacturer, how and why is the Union Health Ministry responding back to the government, Delhi government, saying that no, you can't ask for 67 lakh vaccines, you have to be contented only with 3.5 lakh vaccines? This is absurd. On one hand, you are saying we are allowing the states to procure their own this thing. You don't have any roadmap, you don't have any framework, you are not telling us any. I mean, I'm sure that a person sitting in Mumbai, he doesn't probably know that there are technical nitty-gritties regarding the certification of the vaccine. The Central Drugs Laboratory has to give the certification for the vaccine. What are going to be the international litigation? What if something happens? How are you going to secure the life of the people in this country? So these are the very questions which needs to be answered. Lalpura ji, we are not criticizing Modi ji and your government for the heck of criticizing it. We are only pointing out to the failures that your government has committed at the cost and at the risk of a huge population which is staring in the face of Corona today. Tanvi.
Tanvi, can I
Yes,
make a
Mr.
quick point,
Lalpura, please do respond to this. Go ahead.
The answer is very simple. All those states who really are interested are welcome to contact the Ministry of Health and the Ministry of External Affairs for any kind of import. Then there are certain rules which has to be followed. You
Tanvi.
cannot import anything which has not been tested and which has not been verified to be the correct thing. So we are doing it, and as far as the distribution is concerned, the entire country has to be taken into consideration. Every even tablet is being distributed equally, with every state getting the required doses, and that too till that Corona is over and we control the Corona. There is no question from the
Tanvi.
to fight.
Okay,
with
you say all states have to be given. You say all states have to be given. Let me actually tell you what is happening when you leave it to the vaccine makers and the states to actually look at vaccination and procure their own vaccines. Here is where the first issue that many had raised when you opened it up and decentralized vaccine procurement, the first issue was inequitable distribution of vaccines. When you give the power of deciding who gets what vaccines to the vaccine manufacturers, to private companies, it is chaos, it is not transparent. And I will give you examples. These are some concerning facts for the age group of 18 years to 44 years. Seven states out of all in our country account for 85% of the vaccines that have been administered in the first half of May. 7 states account for 85%. Except for Delhi, out of these 7 states, if you look at the 6 other states, they are part of the central government's 13 states of concern. Concerned states which have high active caseload. 6 of those states are there. But 6 other states are not there. So out of your 13 concerned states which we have in our country right now with high active case load, together 6 of the states have only made up for 5.8% of the vaccination in the first half. This is the inequity here, right here for you. 85% between 7 states. The other 7 states which are also badly hit, 5.8% between them in the age group of 18 to 44. Many of the concerned states are in such bad shape like Maharashtra and Karnataka. They have suspended the vaccination for 18 to 44 because they don't have enough vaccines. Let me give you more concerning examples. Karnataka, which today is the country's highest active caseload state, has so far only given 74,000 doses under this category in these 15 days. Kerala, which is the state with the 3rd highest active caseload right now, has so far only administered 771 doses. Token doses that they got from the vaccine makers, and they were told everything else you will get in June. We can't give you anything before that. Tamil Nadu, which has the 7th highest caseload, gave 22,326 doses in these 15 days. Again, a state badly hit now where the numbers are rising post-elections and they're not getting the vaccines. What kind of a policy is this, Rohan Gupta? We don't know basis what the vaccine makers are actually giving out vaccines. Some cases we know because they wrote a letter and told Delhi government, we can't give it to you, we've been told not to.
Absolutely, Tanvi. And the way BJP spokesperson was speaking, I think he was totally out of the world. That much confidence, even BJP's health minister doesn't have the way he was speaking. See, Tanvi, the basic issue is how can central government expect state government to buy the same vaccine at 4 times the price? Everybody knows that we are in bad situation. It was very easy for central government to impose compulsory licensing and allow other manufacturers to manufacture vaccine. We wouldn't have been in this situation. Going with this speed, when they announced Tika Utsav, 40 lakh vaccines were inoculated in a day. It came down to 20 lakhs. So there is a short supply of vaccine. At this speed, we will take 3.5 years to inoculate the whole country. And the way BJP government trying to shy away from their responsibility is ridiculous. How can you expect state to buy the same thing at 4 times the price? Forget about that. International vaccines, they were applying for emergency use in India before 6 months. The Indian government never paid any attention. Modi government never paid any attention to that. It is after the second wave picked up, after Rahul Gandhi wrote the letter, they were forced to allow all other international players to come into India or allow emergency use in India. Why the state governments, they have to go for global tender? Because priority today is not who will pay the money. The priority is to inoculate the citizens, because the second wave, if it is that much dangerous, now people are saying that we are going for third wave. Just imagine situation, Tanvi, what is going to happen. The positivity rate touched in India up to 27%, and you don't have vaccines. India is a country where only around 2% people are fully vaccinated out of 130 crore population. We are 69th in terms of the vaccination percentage as per population across the world. What are we looking at? Where is the central government? This is totally irresponsible behavior from the central government. This was the time to procure vaccines from whatever source available. We agree they have failed in anticipating the pandemic. Forget about the past. The future should have been to sit with the states to ensure that we procure vaccines from whatever source available, allocate to states, and ensure that in time-bound manner, maybe 3 months, you inoculate the whole country. But here what's happening for BJP government, it's always trying to save themselves from any blame. They are very sensitive towards, any kind of failure being accepted. We have seen that from note ban. So the moment they realize that they have failed, they immediately transfer the responsibility to states. If this is the government which allocated 35,000 crore in union budget, and they told that no, now we cannot spend, the states have to spend. Still, all the states took the responsibility. But where are the vaccines? Even internationally, there is a shortage of vaccines. How Indians will get the vaccines?
Okay.
So we are in a dangerous situation, Tanvi. And I only request Modi government, this is not the time of any criticism, politics and all. It is not about Mr. Modi. It is about the people of the country. Please be little sensitive. Please hear out what opposition parties are saying. You have to go for a universal vaccination program, procure centrally, vaccine centrally, allocate to states. Please ensure, please cooperate, and forget about politics at least for next 3 to 6 months.
Well, we hope so. We hope so. And we really need to work together. If this is not about building narratives, and I hate it when political parties get caught up with narrative versus narrative, claim versus claim. This is about the ground reality. And I think by now we should have learned the lesson that no matter how hard you try, in these times, in times of a pandemic, the truth cannot be hidden. It's for the whole world to see, no matter how hard you try to change that narrative. I have 2 viewers on the phone line. Vivek Gupta calling us from Faridabad. Good evening. Go ahead, please. What would you like to say?
Yes, Tanvi. Hello, I'm Vivek. Basically, when we today look at the vaccine policy of the country, I would like to say it looks like it's a vaccine scam. It's actually a scam. Why? Because, one part, whose money is this? It is not Mr. Modi's money. It is not the center's money. It's not the state government's money or Congress or any of the BJP states or any one of them. It is the citizens' money which is going to be paid for, the vaccine. Now, one part, the central government is asking for 150 rupees. The states are paying at 300. Now, who is going to pocket this money, 150 rupees extra? The private players. Now, my only question is, why Mr. Modi has this love for the private players on the back of the citizens of the country? Why is he making them rich? Now, when you look at the global tendering also, Tanvi, there are only 2 players. Covaxin is only in India. Now there's only one place from whom they can actually, AstraZeneca, which has approved, or Sputnik, from where these states can actually buy. Now, from where are they going to buy? So it is a very peculiar way where Mr. Modi and his government has failed. And today the people are dying. And I can tell you one thing to the BJP, they're dying. The dead do not vote. So this is my thing to them. I am very, very state of shock. The country is in a state of shock. And I think instead of, calling these political people who are just coming here for rush up and, wasting time of the citizens, the people know the way these people have actually, killed the citizens of the country on a day-to-day basis without any remorse. This is my thing which I would like to say. This is very shocking.
Yes. Thank you so much, Mr. Vivek Gupta, for calling us. Let me tell you that the system right now, and many questions are unanswered, but the indication from the central government has been that the states or even individual civic bodies like BMC can issue global tenders. They can strike deals with any of the vaccine makers who've got approvals for their vaccine, whether it's Moderna or Pfizer or Johnson & Johnson or Sputnik, and then they will have to approach the center, get the emergency approval for which the policies have been changed so that a possibility is there, and then they can bring in those, then they may have to test it here, and then they will put it in the market. So the options do go beyond Sputnik, but they will be a lot more expensive than the prices we are looking at right now, and that again will be money, citizens' taxpayer money that will go there simply because we did not book our vaccines in advance when the entire world was actually doing that. Mr. Ajay Alok, isn't that a concern? The point that Reena was also alluding to, that the states are going to line up now. 10 states will line up, including civic bodies like this, Mumbai civic body at Moderna's office, and say, we want. What kind of chaos, negotiations and bargainings are going to unfold then?
Can I
See, when you have the intention to create, when you have the clear-cut intention to create chaos, you will always create a party with a set-up mind to create chaos and to create panic among the citizens. There is no answer. Please go on continuing it like you have been continuing it for the last 1 month in terms of oxygen, in terms of management of the central government, and every state government is trying to best to do. We have the vaccine manufacturing. We are doing it. I would like to ask the Congress spokesperson here, in state of theirs who have the capacity to administer 2 lakh vaccines. Here, I'll just ask one question to all the state governments of respective opposition parties. How much stocks of vaccine do you have? Like, which state government is not having less than 6 lakhs per day? And who is administrating 2 lakhs per day? When you have the shortage of, do you have a data? We are talking of data here. Please submit a data that you have the capacity to administer more than 2 lakhs, except for Maharashtra. None of the state government, and none of them have the shortage. If they have a shortage of Covaxin, Covishield is there. Why you are creating hoax and creating panic among the nation?
I am amazed, Dr. Ajay Alok, that you are giving us such kind of comments. I am amazed, Dr. Ajay Alok. I didn't think you would be living in this world of denial.
And we are equally concerned about it.
In coming times, there may not be a shortage. There is one now. Every state is facing shortage.
Listen to me. And listen to me. You have not been listening to me. Please listen, have some patience. We have placed in orders with Covishield for 5.5 crores vaccines. They clearly said it's not possible. What we did, we had the allocated share quota from the center. We started dividing it, how to administer Covishield and how to administer Covaxin, because the second dose of Covaxin is equally required for those who have taken the first dose. You have to strategize and plan with whatever available resources you have, not to create panic. And what Aam Aadmi Party is talking about?
Tanvi, can I come in, please?
Is an order of intention. You just place an order of intention in front of Covishield that we intend to buy. You never place an orders. We place orders along with advance check, but we were refused flatly. And please have trust and please.
Well, actually, you're not also doing it properly. Let me tell you, you are saying you're allocating properly for the second dose. The second dose administered in the state of Bihar is on 38% on an average.
Tanvi, can I come
in the last 7 days?
Tanvi.
First, you create confusion.
Tanvi.
The Congress
Okay, first Reena Gupta, and then we'll go to the others.
Covaxin is not available.
Tanvi, if you look at the basic principle of vaccination, experts will tell you that the vaccine has to be accessible, it has to be free of cost, and there should be an assured supply. And I go back to the Pulse Polio program because that was one of the most successful vaccination programs we've run in our country. So you knew that every Sunday, no matter where you are, you will get access to a free vaccine of polio. The same way we will need to do for COVID. Otherwise, there will be vaccine hesitancy. Our vaccination rates will remain very, very low. And unless we actually give vaccine to at least 70% of the country, there is no point vaccinating 2% of the country, which is the vaccination rate as of today. My second question, actually, I have a question for the BJP person. I was looking at the media briefing today by Mr. V.K. Paul. And if you read between the lines, he says over 2 billion doses could become available. And then he says, additionally, other foreign vaccine may also become available. So my question is that, again, is this wishful thinking, or do we have contracts, legally bound contracts for all the projections of 216 crores that has been made in the press briefing today? Because it is very difficult to actually trust those numbers, given that the track record that one has seen of the central government. There has been a lot of pressure on them, and I want to make sure from the BJP spokesperson that the central government actually has contracts for these 216 crores that they have projected today.
Tanvi, I have one question to Mr. Ajay Alok.
Mr. Lalpura, yes, 1 minute, Mahesh. Let Mr. Lalpura answer this, and then you can ask Ajay Alok.
And it's very clear whenever the spokesperson of the Bharatiya Janata Party comes on the screen, we are fully prepared and we are armed with the information, and that too based on the facts. Whatever we say is on record. The government of India is doing everything to save our people and procure the medicines, not only the injections, but all the medicines. And it is fairly being distributed all over. Most of the people are doing politics. We are not doing politics. We are here to serve the humanity. And politics is not our way of doing work during this pandemic. We are here and we are very clear that all Indians will be vaccinated, and that too in very short span of time. And we will save every life that is very precious for all.
Tanvi.
Well, what about the 50,000 that died in the month of April, and already those many that have died in this month, they were not valuable?
They are very, very valuable, Tanvi. But please listen. The central government...
So we could have saved these lives, Mr. Lalpura, had we not obsessed so much about elections and actually focused more on preparing for the second wave. Today, Mr. V.K. Paul says, Mr. Lalpura, Mr. V.K. Paul says, we indicated there would be a second wave. We didn't know the extent of it. I mean, the experts, if they want to now defend the government in such a manner that they didn't know...
The government of India is working through the states only. Where people say there can be a third wave, maybe a fourth wave.
Okay, let me...
We have to
Tanvi, one simple question to both Mr. Ajay Alok and Mr.
And we are doing it.
Okay. 1 minute. Allow me, please. Allow me to go back to the point that Reena Gupta made. 1 minute. Allow me to just go back to the point that Reena Gupta made and the question she asked. And Reena, I don't know, because the center was not clear whether these deals have been struck. But there's never been any transparency until now about the deals that were struck even in the past. So that answer I don't have, but I can tell you that this number of 216 crore, Covishield 75 crore, Covaxin 55 crore, BioE subunit vaccine 30 crore, Zydus Cadila DNA vaccine 5 crore. These are the vaccines that haven't even got approvals yet. Serum Institute's Novavax 20 crore. This is the vaccine whose production has already been hit because the US held back on the raw materials. BB nasal vaccine 10 crore. Genova mRNA vaccine 6 crores, Sputnik vaccine 15.6 crores. I think outside of Sputnik, there is absolutely no clarity on the others or of any deals having been struck. Most of them don't have permissions and approvals yet. Some are still in trial phase as well. That doesn't mean that the government couldn't have struck agreements, but they haven't told us so, and I don't think Mr. Lalpura has an example for that, answer for that either. Mahesh Tapase has a question for Ajay Alok. Go ahead.
I had a question.
I did not expect Dr. Ajay Alok to respond the way that he was asking about data not being provided by the state governments. I just want to remind that the data is flowing in the rivers of Buxar from where your party is ruling. So that kind of data is not seen any other places. So that should. I'm not talking about rhetoric. We are not covering up. We are not covering up. We are not covering up. The data of Maharashtra, the Mumbai hospital is showing. What are you talking? What are you talking, Dr. Ajay? You should have responded very responsibly.
You from Mumbai and spreading all the infection. You are talking of data.
I'm not spreading infection. You are not counting the data which is flowing in the Buxar.
What about your management?
Your government has miserably failed and you're trying to teach us a lesson.
Okay, calm down. Okay, calm down. Okay. Mahesh Tapase, point made. Mahesh Tapase, point made. Calm down, please. Calm down. Calm down, Dr. Ajay Alok. Calm down. Yes, okay. The bodies are coming from Uttar Pradesh. Okay, they've landed in Patna also via rivers. Okay, all right. Yes, Rohan Gupta.
I have a very simple question. The way Mr. Lalpura and Mr. Ajay Alok was speaking with confidence, the number of vaccines given last 7 days average is 20 lakhs. Had they not exported these 6 crore vaccines, at least during second wave, we could have had another 6 crore vaccines and we could have saved lot many people. Can they do argument on numbers, Mr. Ajay Alok? This includes all your states, all states, Congress or BJP. Why number reduced from 40 lakhs to 20 lakhs if there is no shortage of vaccine? The way with confidence you are saying that vaccines are available and states are not using. Give me one example. Give me one reason why the vaccines have reduced from 40 lakhs to 20 lakhs. The number before day is only 40 lakhs. Before that it is only 7 lakhs. And you are talking here on national debate with confidence. You give me the logic why the number has reduced from 40 lakhs to 20 lakhs. Give me logical answer. Don't show your unnecessary confidence here on the debate, Mr. Ajay Alok. Give me the
confidence. Okay. Let him answer. Okay, Rohan. Let him answer. Yes.
Rohan ji, I just simply asked you one question. Okay.
No, you answer my question, Mr. Ajay Alok. I understand you are a confident person.
Listen to me. I'm answering your question. Listen to me. I agree to your point. That when you say that the quota has been reduced from 40 lakhs to 20 lakhs. Agreed. Point taken. But been able to utilize that 20 lakhs.
Your state from 3 lakh to 1 lakh. In 20 days, it has reduced from 3 lakh to 1 lakh.
You are not being able to deliver 2 lakhs vaccination every day. Why you are cribbing?
What is he saying, Tanvi? Can I come in? In Delhi, we are doing 1 lakh every day. And we can actually do 10 lakhs
Delhi has a stock of 5.5 lakhs. Around 4 lakhs of Covishield and 16,000 of Covaxin. And this is their announcement made by
in Delhi, we only have 300 centers right now. We can actually take it up to 3,000 centers.
You have a stock of next 4 days, Aam Aadmi Party Delhi. Okay. You have a stock of next 4 days.
Okay. May I just come in here? I just want to make one point to everybody. Let me just add to the point Ajay Alok is making. I'll give me 30 seconds, please. Give 30 seconds. Let me just add to the point that Ajay Alok is making. He obviously, it cannot be denied that the pace is slowed down significantly. It also cannot be denied that the biggest of the experts working closely with the center, including the AIIMS director and other policy advisors, said that by April, they were looking at 50 lakh vaccinations per day. So there is no denying the fact it's slowed down. Even the JD and the BJP do admit that. Now, can each state stand up and say, our capacity is XYZ, so why are you giving us 1/10 of XYZ? Well, the plan was never to give you all the vaccine doses overnight, irrespective of the capacities you may have built. That is a separate thing. The problem arises when you're not even able to meet what you have already planned, when you're not even able to give doses to those eligible for the second dose lining up, when you're not even now able to get enough vaccinations in place, Manu Sundaram, for those above the age of 45. half the population, Manu, even above the age of 45, is yet to get its vaccine.
Well, which is why I think we need to understand this entire problem in proper perspective. Now, I agree this is not the time for politicking, and I think none of us here, even in the non-BJP allied parties, have ever brought up today the fact that 6 crore vaccines were exported or 30,000 crore rupees is being spent on a grand central vista, or that the health ministry is by and large absent and the RBI governor is often seen dictating the vaccine policy. That's not our point today. We are here today to understand why is there a differential pricing mechanism. Now, I speak for my friend from Bihar as well, Dr. Ajay Alok, that the Bihar government, and I have a great regard for Chief Minister Nitish Kumar, and I'm sure he's deeply concerned about this, as is his finance minister. Why is the Bihar government paying substantially more for procuring the vaccine than this union government of India? Now, Bihar and Tamil Nadu are very similar in terms of population. We both have to vaccinate between 5.5 to 5.8 or 6 crore people, and that's our 18 plus target population, and both of us will have to incur a huge fiscal hit because of this differential pricing, which till date has not been made clear to any of the states. Secondly, this continuing chaos in the procurement policy. Why is the central government even continuing to procure 50% of the vaccines is unclear. Why should the center then decide which states should be allotted vaccines? Why can't the states now make up our own decisions depending on, as you know, and everybody here understands, Maharashtra had a second wave at a different time, Delhi had a second wave at a different time, and Tamil Nadu's second wave has come at a different time. So the state should be allowed to decide, and the populations in the southern states are by and large much older. We have a much older and more aging population. So we should be allowed to decide how we structure our vaccination rollout. And thirdly, the biggest concern for us has been the kind of the PR management or the optics management of this. It's been a long time coming, and the government does not seem to even be able to share basic data about the vaccine policy. So that is our concern. We are not here to try to score points, at least not in Tamil Nadu. We've just concluded our election. Our focus is firmly on ensuring that all political parties are in solving this issue together. To that effect, the Chief Minister today of Tamil Nadu actually held an all-party meeting to try and build a consensus. So our focus is clear, but we just want the right kind of support and facilitation from the center. We are happy to procure our own vaccines.
That is actually also done at a national level, Manu, because I think vaccination has to be a federal system. It has to be centrally procured at least. I don't think, and that most of the states, even when they were asking for more power and more control, was on the decision making on the distribution end, not on the procurement end. None of them would have even imagined that procurement would come on their heads, because it is a task. And now you're fighting with each other, and you're fighting with private hospitals, and you're waiting in line, and you are paying extra money for that. It's not that the states have to pay money, which is fine. States and the central together need to fund this. But they are paying extra money because of this policy change. It absolutely makes no sense. I'm going to thank all of the panelists who've joined us on this conversation. We are not done yet. We have a lot more to go, and we are flooded with phone calls tonight. Many of them have an extremely strong viewpoint to share. We're going to take some of those phone calls on the other side, so stay with me. Thanks for staying with us here on the Urban Debate 9 p.m. edition, and we continue with a focus on the vaccine policy. We've opened up our phone lines tonight. This is not just a political debate. This is not just about what we believe. It isn't just about the statistics that the center has to give, but it is also about the overarching policy. It's also about what you are going through, what your experiences have been, where you face trouble, what your views are about this new policy which is in place, which is literally causing a lot of confusion and havoc. How do we go about fixing our demand and supply for vaccination? How do we ramp up the vaccines that are available right now? Those are some of the questions I am going to be talking about. Let me tell you why I believe there is a need to relook at our vaccination policy. About 17 to 18 crore people only so far have been vaccinated in this country. And already we've started running short on vaccines. Many states and centers have run out of stocks already. There is a delay in the procurement, which is further slowing down the process. We need new systems to ramp up manufacturing. It's been weeks and weeks of us and the experts highlighting that the current manufacturers can partner with existing facilities, can share technology, step up on production. We've been highlighting it for so long that we can bring in more vaccines from abroad which have been used in other countries, tested and tried already. But that's not been done. We are now even discovering facts like there is an integrated vaccine facility that was created specifically for these kind of purposes years ago and lies unused even now. Can you imagine that? We have the facility, the capacity to ramp up our production. We've just not moved fast enough on it. We need to talk about it right now. We need to talk about how the states' global tenders, state after state after state, has announced that they're now going to issue global tenders to get in more vaccines from abroad, to import these vaccines from other manufacturers. That's just going to lead to an unhealthy competition and really become extremely chaotic. Imagine everybody from the UP government to the Mumbai civic body standing at the doorstep of Moderna vaccine, asking for vaccines, or placing their orders, negotiating and fighting on pricing for preference so that they can get some vaccines, which then have to be brought in here. The samples will have to be at least tested before they can directly be put into market. For that, they will have to also get the emergency approval not from the central government. What a complicated way to go about this. We also need to relook at our policy because of the differential pricing that exists. And as more and more states look at different options from Sputnik to others, it only means that they will end up paying different prices. Private hospitals are negotiating their own prices. There is a wide variety of prices and an incremental cost to this. A cost that you and I will bear effectively, even if it is free on paper. It is our taxpayers' money. So something that we could have procured for 150 rupees per dose is actually also being procured for 600 rupees per dose. Tomorrow the international vaccines will be procured for 1500 rupees per dose. Then what? Who bears that cost? At some point you and I will, probably through higher fuel prices again. We need to also relook at this policy because of the inequity in the distribution. Whether it's the center allocation, which still remains opaque despite what their claims are about how they're distributing these vaccines, it doesn't add up on ground. Or how the vaccine makers are giving it to the states. Even in the age group of 18 to 44, if you see, it's not as per the density, the population, the spread of infection and number of vulnerable people who are in those states. There's absolute confusion and chaos in the way this is unfolding. States are now halting their 18 to 44 age group vaccination so that those vaccines can be saved for those who are already eligible for the second dose. The center has now changed the policy on the gap between 2 doses of Covishield so that people don't come back for the second dose within 6 weeks, but actually come back in 16 weeks. That gives you some more time frame to give more first doses to other people. This is something we could have done in December. This is something we could have done in February. That's when United Kingdom did it. And we asked the government repeatedly. The changes are being brought in now because we are facing a shortage of vaccines. Don't we need to relook at all of this and have a comprehensive, streamlined policy that focuses on boosting our production and simplifying our delivery? Let's say good evening to the panelists who are joining us on this conversation right now. Professor Dinesh Varshney of the CPI, Dr. Gaur, former MP of the TRS, Gopal Agarwal of the BJP, and Riju Datta of the TMC joining me right now. I actually want to start off with Let me start off with Professor Dinesh Varshney on this. Professor Varshney, states like Kerala are the worst hit right now. Kerala has the third highest case load. But they have not been able to procure any significant amount of vaccines from the vaccine makers. They've only given 700 odd doses, token doses essentially for the 18 to 44 because the vaccine makers aren't able to provide any. Now, is this really the way forward for a comprehensive vaccination policy?
Look, Tanvi, I fully agree with the introductory commentary or the remarks you have made. I have no difference of opinion with that. Before I give my comment, let me say one thing to the people of India through Mirror Now Television, national television, that our governmental leadership, central government leadership has failed the people of India while dealing with the corona pandemic second wave as well as the vaccination, both. Number 3, I have never heard in any of the world, I have gone through entire research since your executive called me for today's show. Not a single country, the counties, the provinces or the state have asked procuring the vaccines from the vaccine firms. It is their national government which is procuring. It is the unique example only India, where Modi ji do not wanted to fade away his image because people are angry with him. Now the image of the state should go back. Why the global tender should be issued? I agree with you. We must revisit. We must rethink our policy of vaccination. It is absolutely rubbish to say that the state should procure the vaccines. Why? Why the global tender by the state? Why not the global tender by the government of India? Why the government of India has not earlier saw to it and earlier estimated that we needed 270 crore vaccines, not 7 or 8 or 10 or 11 or 12 or 13 or 14 or 18 crore vaccines. We were supposed to ensure that not only 2 producers, at least 20 producers should be there. These vaccine makers should be allowed in India earlier also. Why not now? That is why I believe that all the political parties, which opposition political parties, that is 12 or 14, have written a letter to Honorable Prime Minister yesterday. He should accept all the proposals. He is the Prime Minister of the country. He is not the Prime Minister of only one central government. All state government falls under the state. The federal character does not mean that बुराई तो लेगा state, अच्छा ही लेगा मोदी जी. पगड़ी बांधूंगा मैं और पगड़ी उतारूंगा मैं states की. This is not good. This is unfortunate. Never ever the vaccination in India has been charged. Never ever the vaccination has been done by the state sources, always by the central. Many of the vaccination has happened in this country, free of cost to all. So, and smallpox is the biggest vaccination in this country. Number 2, I would like to ask one thing to the BJP representative here. Are you not changing this policy of Covishield from 4 to 6 weeks or 4 to 8 weeks to 6 to 12 to 18 weeks? Because you know that by August, we will be able to have the vaccines. Till August, you do it. If you have a scientific data, Dr. Paul has a scientific data, then Dr. Paul should reveal it to the public. Don't say in the press conference that Britain has done it. Let us have it in public, that data. Let the WHO put the data into the public that this is correct. And this was this. Why have you not said this to the people of earlier? Now, all those who have taken Covishield now from 18 to 42, 45 or 45 and above will be in a dilemma. Next time you may change. And I agree with you, Tanvi. Why this differential pricing? This differential pricing is a burden on the people's exchequer. That is our money. That is the people's money. And why you are not spending 35,000 crore rupees available in this budget for this thing? Increase the health expenditure. Increase the per capita expenditure on the health. You are aware, and if your scientific advisor, Dr. Raghavan, says that he was not aware that this much of this big of second wave will come, then I'm very sorry, he's not a scientist. It was amply clear by the various scientific bodies warning that India will be the worst sufferer if you do not make a preparation for the second pandemic of the corona. And you did not. You even dismantled the temporary hospitals. Not only in
No,
Delhi,
so,
throughout.
Professor Varshney, one comment that really intrigued me today, and when I get to speak to Mr. V.K. Paul next, I would want to ask him. One comment is that he said we had indicated about the second wave, but nobody really anticipated the kind of infection spread that we would see now. I mean, through February and March, and the BJP's defense has been that, well, by 17th of March, we had warned the states about second wave. Through February, I remember, when Maharashtra was already beginning to see those signs. And through the first week of March, we spoke about the second wave. We spoke about the rise in cases. We spoke about what was happening in Kerala. Kerala was already seeing cases, spike in the month of February. And then Maharashtra. And we still thought that this is not going to spread. I refuse to believe that India's top experts and scientists actually didn't get it. Now, whether they didn't want to say it out loud at that point of time to the government, or they said it to the government and the government did not listen to them, I don't know. The whole waking up to the situation has only happened after the elections came to an end. But I don't want to go into the past. Mr. Gopal Krishna Agarwal, I want to talk about what the situation is right now. The situation right now is that there is shortage of vaccines. The center itself is telling the states to allocate 70% of their doses for second dose eligibles, while we are extending the window for the second dose so that there isn't enough pressure. How did we get to this point? If we didn't have enough doses, why did we open it up to more and more people?
Tanvi, there are important questions that you are raising, and these types of questions are pricking the minds of everybody. So we need some clarification, and we also need to correct the narration also. This is a fit case. Vaccination, I think, is a fit case where the narration and politics overrides the actual factual recognition of the fact. Those people who are discussing about the vaccine policy neither know the scientific aspects on the public domain I'm talking. They don't know the global pharma industry. They don't know how the government policy is working, what the government constraints are. Even we don't know the actual constraint, and we are just not recognizing the fact that there are certain constraints on the vaccination, and the government, whether state or center, has to work within those constraints. This we have to accept. So those people who are suggesting, like Delhi government saying that I want 1.5 crore vaccines, or any government now suddenly asking I want 50 lakh vaccines or this. So just demanding etc. will not help. We have to understand the constraints and how the government is trying, and also understand the global pharma industry. It's a very complicated pharma
These
industry.
constraints were known to
No,
you in the March
I did not.
2020.
Tanvi, I will not talk like
Since
this.
March 2020 to you.
Yes.
Tanvi,
No,
I did not interfere with
Please,
you.
please allow him to finish. Please allow him to finish. Allow him to finish. I will give time to everybody. Yes.
तन्वी, मैं आपसे एक बात करना चाहता हूँ. ये सीरियस डिबेट है. अगर आपको ये चिल्लाना बीच में करेंगे तो फिर मुझे नहीं करना डिबेट. आप दे बता.
Go ahead, finish your point, Mr. Gopal Agarwal.
So the thing is, there is a limitation in the number of availability of stock of the vaccine. It is a phased manner. Therefore, initially, the central government came out with a policy where it was procuring the whole vaccines in a centralized manner and distributing to the states on a formula where the expert and scientists were giving how to distribute one thing. Then certain states said, we want an independent way to get our vaccine. And there were, why people are not asking Mr. Baghel, the chief minister of Chhattisgarh, that he said, I will not accept these vaccines. Why people are not asking Akhilesh Yadav, who are now writing letter, that what scientific basis you had, or Shashi Tharoor, that this vaccine is not effective. So they can talk without any scientific thing. And now you are asking, and even other people in your panel are talking without their scientific knowledge or information. The thing is, it is the India's scientists and pharmacists and the vaccine industry, which has been very successfully came out with the indigenous vaccine, and due to the cost constraint, because
No, so
Moderna is
Mr. Gopal
selling,
Agarwal, let's now
Moderna is
stop
selling.
tom-tomming about indigenous vaccines, please. That
How
was
much
what
time
we
will
did
you
3
give?
months ago
No,
and
Tanvi,
6
how
months,
much time
4
will
months
you
ago.
give?
No, Mr. Gopal
Tanvi,
Agarwal, now you're
no,
wasting
no,
my
Tanvi,
time. You're
how much
wasting my
time
time.
will you
You're
give?
giving me the
No,
answers you would
how
have
much,
given me in the month of
how
January.
much time?
You
How
are
much
giving me
time
the
will
answer.
you
I have
give
given
to
the same amount of
Dinesh
time. Please
Vashpiji?
don't question.
No, no,
Please don't question
no,
my
how much
fairness
time
when
will
it
you
comes
give
to
to
my panel debates. It doesn't work here.
How much time did you
Your
give to
argument, Mr.
Dinesh
Gopal
Vashpiji?
Agarwal, of why the
How much
states
time did you give?
questioned the
How much time did you
Covaxin
give
in the
to
month
Dinesh
of January
Vashpiji?
and February.
No,
I'm sorry,
no,
this is not
Tanvi,
going to
how
work.
much time
Can I
did you
please just
No,
talk?
no, no, no,
Mr.
no. How
Gopal
much time
Agarwal,
did
if
you
you're
give
going to
to
derail my
Dinesh
conversation
Vashpiji?
like this, it's not going to work. I gave fair amount of time. If you're unhappy with it, that is your choice what you want to do. Please don't try and derail this by talking over each other. I gave you time. I asked others to quietly listen to you as well. If you're going to give me the answers about how proud we are about indigenous vaccines, those are answers you should have given me in the month of January, and I would have gladly backed you on that. That's not what we're talking about today. We don't have those vaccines right now to give to people who are queuing up every day. You want to call it politics? Please go to the vaccination centers and see. Please see how people are struggling to get an appointment. They're playing fastest finger first. They're trying contacts with private hospitals. They're going and waiting for 6 hours, 8 hours, 10 hours every day at the vaccination centers. They're not getting the vaccine shots, yet the COVID portal is giving them certificates that they've got their entire dose. Please don't test my patience right now by giving me rhetorical answers that made sense several months ago. You ask about the states who refused to take Covaxin. They refused to take the Covaxin at that point of time because the trials were not finished. Because the data of all the trials was not in. That data had not been made public. The problem was not with the vaccine. The problem was with the transparency that your government did not give us.
Correct.
You did not share that data with us. And that was the experts as well who questioned it. Now that the data has been shared, which was shared in the month of March, all states have started using that vaccine. Please don't give me answers which are about what happened 2 months ago when we're talking about what has to happen right now. Now, before I go to the other two panelists, I'm going to go across to our viewers. I have Mr. Santosh, who's calling us from Thrissur. Good evening, Mr. Santosh. Go ahead, please.
My question is, Tanvi, actually, like this. I'm a taxpayer of this country. Okay. Now, Central is quoted a global tender to call for all other states to purchasing vaccines from other countries. Now, we are an exporter of these vaccines. Now, we are importing, we are assisting the tender to that one, importing vaccines from to other states. That is one thing. Second thing, if Maharashtra, Kerala, lot of states are going for a global tenders now. Okay. Then now what may be happen, Maharashtra may be caught more, Kerala may be less, and Tamil Nadu may be in between. And there is a fight between each states will come. How it will be sorted out in later stages. And second question, there is a smaller states like Sikkim, Mizoram, Tripura, how they will cater their this vaccine dealings over here right now. This is my simple questions over here.
So you're absolutely right, and that will happen. It is already happening. States that don't have the big money power aren't getting the enough number of vaccines right now. In certain areas, even the civic bodies that have that kind of money, like the BMC, the Mumbai civic body, are actually going to be competing with state governments now and other countries when they go and strike a deal with any of the other vaccine makers. These global tenders are going to be extremely interesting how they pan out, and you're right, they may end up paying a higher price versus what we would have paid for those vaccines had there been a central procurement system in place.
How much time will you allocate to
That was a viewer, and I allocate as much time as a viewer wants to take, Mr. Gopal Agarwal, as they want. The viewers have precedence on my shows, in case you didn't know. And so I am going to go across to one more viewer on the phone line right now, Mr. Santosh Kumar, calling us from Bengaluru this time. Good evening. Go ahead, please.
Good evening, madam. Thanks for the opportunity. And I am a senior citizen. I have not got my first vaccine yet. I'm paying the tax for the last more than 3.5 decades. More than 3.5 decades. So there is no vaccination for me or my family. In spite of booking, it has been cancelled. And I'm really dismayed to hear the statements of our Honorable Central Minister that he said he was unable to produce vaccines, whether he has to commit suicide. That was his statement today. So it is a frustrating and disgusting for us. And moreover, I heard when Bihar elections on, the assurance for them to give vaccination first by our finance minister representing our state again. So what is happening? The dead bodies are floating in Ganga waters. Which state it belongs to? There is no vaccination. We should have thought of vaccination first. As a childhood, I know vaccination is lifeline for us. Then comes the bed, oxygen, whatever. But when vaccination is not there, how we can survive? Why should I go to hospital to get bed when I am capable of handling myself with vaccination? And our export to other countries is also very disheartening when we are crying for help. This is my view, madam.
Yes.
And there is no package for our state also. Neighboring states are able
Yes,
to give
I
packages.
hope. Yes, I hope, Mr. Santosh, you are able to get your vaccine soon. Like you said, you're a senior citizen. You must be given preference, and that's how the policy actually began. But you're right, even now, a large proportion of those above the age of 45 as well have not got their vaccine. So while we're opening it up to 18 to 44, which is also the young working population who need to go out and must be vaccinated as well, we must ensure that those above the age of 60 at least get their vaccines. Quick comments in from our other two panelists, and then I will go back to Mr. Gopal Agarwal and he can respond to those. Let me start off with Dr. Gaur. Dr. Gaur, today the center and the BJP's comment has been that you and anybody is open to can approach the center, can approach Bharat Biotech, partner with them, set up manufacturing facilities which are biosafety level 3 and above, and ramp up the production. You are also free to have conversations with vaccine makers across the world, bring in those vaccines and give it to your people. Why are you now creating noise as if it is all the center's fault when the states actually wanted control of the vaccination drive?
Tanviji, at the outset, I would wish to say that you cannot take a credit what is done for the good, and you cannot pass on the discredit on the states. Number two, the best thing is to accept our faults and take all the states as a cooperative federalism, as a team India, and move forward. Let us not try to make a politics, try to mudslinging, because there will be enough time later on once we control the pandemic. We can do a lot of postmortem, who did what, who has not done what, we can do. And to be frank, way back in September 17th, I wrote a letter to Prime Minister Ji, just appraising of the situation. The vaccines are going to come. All the countries are advance booking the vaccines, because all these companies are private companies. They will be hoarding the vaccine. There will be serious shortage of the vaccine, vials, syringes, needles. Because with the knowledge of what is going on, as one of the speakers said, we are not a lay person speaking for the sake of politics. We are well educated, well scientific knowledge on talking. That was the situation. But somehow we did not take the heat of the things to come. We thought that India is immune to. Now the present thing is, now we have to accept vaccine. First dose of vaccine gives 60%. Second dose of vaccine gives 94% of the protection. So vaccine is necessity, number one. Vaccine production is not adequate to meet the demand of the people of the India with a population of 136 crores. At least 100 crores need to be populated, vaccinated. That is the fact number two. Number three, most of the European countries and Western countries are hoarding much more vaccine. Yesterday only I saw the report in one of the international magazines. Canada is hoarding 660% of the vaccine compared to the population. America is holding around 400% of the vaccine compared to the population, whereas Australia is holding 296% of the vaccine compared to the population. All the European countries are holding more than 156% of the vaccine compared to their needs according to the population. So now the question is, now we have to ramp up the local production, whether it's a Bharat Biotech, whether it's Serum Institute of India, or a Sputnik vaccine, biological events, forget it. You have to ramp up. At least now we wake up, ramp up so that in next 2-3 months we can meet the demand. So whatever the vaccines you see, the America itself
Yes,
is
and imagine that, Dr. God, what you're saying, imagine that when you mentioned Canada as one of those who has a lot of vaccines, Canada was one of those who actually also got 500,000 doses from India in the month of March. And now they're sitting on an excess stock while we are struggling here.
Tanvi ji,
That's the
the
level of
requirement
planning that has taken place. Riju Datta. Yes.
One minute.
Dr. God, let me just bring in Riju Datta as well of the TMC and get in a comment from him. Okay, finish your point. Yes.
Yeah, my request is now don't make the states to go and fight with each other and make the companies much more demanding. Best thing is at least if you don't have the money, say we don't have the money, government of India, people of India are ready to contribute, states are ready to pull up the money, make a vaccination fund, go for the single tender for the entire country and distribute as per the investment across the east state. Let us not make any politics. That is the best way to go forward rather than trying to...
Okay, fair enough. Let me actually also ask Riju Datta. Riju, is this what your party would also back? There needs to be a centralized procurement management system. The states can then go ahead, take it from the center and distribute it as per their own system.
Tanvi, first of all, I was hearing everybody very patiently and I've heard the BJP spokesperson said, all the excuses that can be made why there is a vaccine shortage, why there is a vaccine delay. I'll just give you a small number. In 1996 and 1997, there was almost 26 crore children that was vaccinated with the polio vaccine. And at that time, there was no COVID, there was no OTP, and neither there was the picture of the Prime Minister on the certificate of the people who got vaccinated. So it has been done in this country before. We should stop making excuses. Now, I will give you some very important figures. BJP has been patting their back saying we have given the highest vaccine drive in this country. But looking at the population of this country, after 4 months of vaccination drive, we have barely vaccinated only 3% of the entire population of this country. At this rate, it will take around 3 to 4 years to vaccinate the entire population of this country, where vaccine is the only Raksha Kabaj we have got. The vaccine drive has fallen by 90% due to vaccine shortage. The blame game needs to stop, I agree, but the buck needs to stop right at the top. The people running this country are completely, incompetent. They have proved it all the time. And when you said that you beg to differ, that the scientists have not said this, I agree with you, Tanvi. The scientists and the scientific community has warned the central government many times that the second wave is coming, be prepared. But why it was not prepared? Because then our Netaji was campaigning in different states, specifically in Bengal. That is why no one paid heed to it. I will only say the government of India, free vaccinations have been done. The Supreme Court has said make a national vaccination policy, no disparity in prices, and why their indigenous vaccines in this country are more expensive than the foreign countries. Take accountability, be responsible, and provide vaccine to every citizen of this country. That is why the people of this country have voted for you. If you cannot do that, resign. End of it.
Okay, Mr. Gopal Agarwal can respond now.
The thing is, how much time I have? How much time you are giving me?
Mr. Gopal Agarwal, please go ahead and respond instead of wasting your time with these theatrics.
Yes, wasting your time. The thing is that the state government are also responsible for the health infrastructure in the country, and the central government is continuing with its vaccination program, providing free vaccination to the level of 50% of the total vaccines allocated to the center. And we are also working on increasing the production. Bharat Biotech has said that in within this May, June, etc., they will increase the production to around 2 crores a month. And even the government is working on other manufacturers. Also, it has today only come out with the press release that Bharat Biotech and the central government is ready to share the patent and the process of the vaccine to other manufacturers, those who are interested. So it's a phased manner. We are working on it. The Sputnik is also coming. We are also working from international suppliers. And as the requirement increases, so in a phased manner, the central government is committed to provide the vaccination. Second thing is, there are other issues also with your viewers that they told about hospital beds, etc. Many of the things are within the purview of the state subject, and it is in the federal structure. The central government is responsible for allocating oxygen. At the start of this pandemic, the requirement was 700 metric ton a day. Now the central government has allocated about 8,000 metric ton of oxygen to different states and help also into procurement. And distribution within the state is a state government responsibility.
Gopalji, now
the
Gopalji, the central government is helping now, sir. But in February, then why did you export 1,900 metric tons to Bangladesh?
बीच में बोल रहे हैं मतनवी जी, देखो
बच्चों जैसी बात कर रहे हैं।
I did not speak in between.
गोपाल जी, आप मेरी बात सुनिए, आप चाहे 10 मिनट ले लीजिए।
रेमडेसिविर की बात में और कर दूं, मेरी बात
नेशन को डिसोल्यूशन मत करिए। पहले ही आपने नेशन को डिसोल्यूशन कर दिया, ऊपर से आप झूठ बोल रहे हो। आपने ऑक्सीजन भी एक्सपोर्ट की, आपने वैक्सीन भी एक्सपोर्ट की, डिस्पाइट द फैक्ट दैट यू वर नोन टू इट दैट व्हाट आर द नीड्स ऑफ द कंट्री। यू वर नोन टू इट. You have been advised by the scientific expert. You did not listen to them. You allow the people.
Send the message. Gopalji, send the message to the Prime Minister because you are the spokesperson here. That the people.
Okay. Don't together launch on him, please. Let him answer. Riju Datta, let him answer. Both of you raised a couple of points. Let him answer, please. Yes, Gopal.
Tanvi, I just want to say this. That the people of this country, irrespective of politics, is only saying, beg, borrow, steal government of India, but give us vaccine. Do whatever
you Yes, Gopal.
Let me finish my... The central government is also responsible for provision of medicine. Remdesivir was in short... Initially, daily 20,000 medicines were required injections in 15 days short time. The central government has increased the availability of remdesivir from 20,000 daily to 3.5 lakhs a day. Several other things are also being initiated. We also know that global requirements are there, but certain private and state government themselves, we have a letter from Mamta ji. She told that we want to have an independent procurement. From earlier time, she has written to the Prime Minister that we want an independent vaccine policy, we want to procure. And Rahul Gandhi also said so. But now Sonia ji is saying that we want a centralized procurement. Central government will take cognizance of whatever suggestion. But my only request with the opposition leaders is be consistent in your demand. If you are asking lockdown, initially you had completely denounced lockdown. Now you are asking lockdown. Initially you said decentralize the vaccination policy. Now you are saying centralized. So the central government is taking care of. We are responsible. We are continuing with the provision of free vaccine, and that will continue. Wait for some time. It's a difficult situation.
So let me ask you this. Okay, let me ask you this, Mr. Gopal Agarwal. You said Sputnik is coming into the market, that will give relief. Can you tell me whether states and private hospitals can directly buy from Sputnik as well when it comes to the market next week, or is it just the center that will get it? You said that we have now changed policies. The policy that you've changed today for expanding the gap between the two Covishield doses was done by United Kingdom in February. We've done it now. We could have avoided so much of this shortage problem now if we had done it right when the other countries were doing the same thing. United Kingdom in the month of February decided to increase the gap as per what the findings of the research was, so that there is lesser pressure and they're able to give the first dose to a lot more people before the people for second dose come back. When the Congress party asked you to open up to the foreign vaccines, to let more foreign vaccines come in, you turned around and said, why are you lobbying for pharmaceutical industry? And 2 days later, you announced the same decision. So the question that is being asked is, why are we going back and forth on this? So some of these decisions could have been taken earlier. Now you can turn around and say, but the opposition asked for decentralization. The opposition's decentralization was in terms of having control on the distribution and the pricing of the vaccine. But if they had to procure it, you could have told them 6 months ago, start planning your own procurement.
There was a requirement and from to the central government that private vaccination companies also want to distribute them. They wanted to procure, private organizations also wanted to procure. The thing is that even if you go for Moderna or Pfizer, in the global market, they are quite expensive. And the government has tried to control the price of Bharat Biotech and Serum Institute. There are supply chain constraints about raw materials, etc. The government is completely working on. Today we had a detailed presentation. बोलने ही नहीं देंगे तो फिर क्या होगा मैडम
आप बार बार लंबी बात बोल रहे हो.
Okay, I am out of time. I'm going to come in here, and just for the clarification, let me tell you and our viewers, when it comes to Sputnik, because this question was raised many times, and this in the press release today put out by the government, they have said that under the new policy, 100% doses of imported and ready to use foreign vaccines will be available for other than Government of India channel, comprising state governments, private hospitals and hospitals of industrial establishments. I don't think the states know this right now. So if the Sputnik is going to be in the market next week, the state and the private hospitals need to know, especially the states need to know, because they're the ones who are going to do it on a larger basis, who are going to do it with the interest of people in mind and not just money making, and they need to know what is available options for them. Thank you so much for the panelists who joined us on this conversation. Viewers, again and again and again, and I cannot emphasize on this enough, the way we have set up this policy, it's going to get extremely chaotic when state after state tries to figure out its own global tenders, its own deals with vaccine makers internationally, waits for information to come in from Serum Institute or Bharat Biotech on when their lot can be provided. Sure, if the center believes that by end of this year we will have 200 crore doses available, but we don't have any right now for the next 1 month, for the next 1.5 months. And people are suffering simply because there is so much of confusion. Should I try for a slot or not? If I've got a slot, should I go to the vaccination center or not? If I go to the center, do I go at the allotted time? Should I keep 3 hours for myself for that, or will it take 8 hours? Will I get exposed to infection while I'm waiting there, only to be told that the vaccine stock has run out and now come another day? Will it be via the portal? Will it be via a token system? Will I get my certificate once my dose is done? There are a series of problems which are taking place on ground. We're not even able to focus on that, talk about it with our authorities, because they can't even get the supply right. They are told by the center the supply will come. They give out the appointments accordingly, and next day when people turn up for the vaccination, they're told the stock hasn't arrived yet. What kind of a ridiculous mass vaccination program is this? Only 17 crore people vaccinated so far. We have a long way to go, a long way, and maybe there'll be multiple ways between that. At least tell us, at least be transparent, at least be forthcoming with the information and what your plan is to begin with. Thank you for joining us on this conversation.